Hi everyone, Corey here from Tales from a Polk County Girl, and in this video it's going to be a goals update video going over what all I got done in February and what I have in the planner for March. Now if you've been following me along since the beginning of the year, all of this is going to look familiar to you. But if you haven't, I'm going to very briefly, go back in the back of the planner to my Q1 targets list. I'm doing pretty okay. I mean, February was more knitting and yarn heavy than it was anything else. So yeah, I've only got one more batch of cookie dough to make, and looking at the dates of when they got made, end of the month is usually when I get around to doing it. But that's okay, because it gets done. The speaking volumes, publisher, submission packet, I didn't work on it at all. I mean, I did research trying to figure out what an author's resume actually is, but I have not done any work towards it. Therefore, and I have not heard back from Kensington Press yet. They have a minimum of 3 months, or a 3 months response time. So April 17th will be the cutoff date, and if I haven't heard from them by April 17th, it's okay, they didn't want it, moving on. So this whole submit my novel for publication may not happen this quarter. Eric's blanket, all the squares were done January 26th. I finished weaving in the ends 5 days later, and I am currently working on the assembly. 1 cotton color knitted up per month. It took me almost 2 months to get through the orange sickle cotton because Eric's blanket, I'm blaming everything on that damn blanket. So I finished it on February 23rd. If you're more interested in my knitting, I do have a knitting podcast called Knitting All the Blankets. The link for that will be down in the description box below. And I talk more about my knitting over there. I just touch on it in here. Take clothing to consignment shops. I have signed a contract with a local consignment shop, and I will be taking my first load in a couple of days. So I will get to mark that off soon and post journaling prompts as Etsy digital downloads. I did that in January, so we're looking good. You know, my quarterly targets are based off my 2018 goals list, and I have 5 areas that I want to achieve goals in, and helping it and writing it out on paper like this, sorry about that screech, really helped visualize for when I did my Passion Planner roadmap. Now, Passion Planner roadmap is usually 3 months, 1 year, 3 years, lifetime. I just split it into quadrants and did Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 because that's what worked for me. My brain, I like trying to achieve things in 1 year. I still have my original lifetime ones from when I first started using the Passion Planner, and I'll go back and talk about those probably when I do my wrap-up video at the end of the year to see in the lifetime one how well did I do. And then what's my main project that I'm working on? My brother's blanket. All the squares are made, all the strings are sewn in, and I am working on assembly. So, yeah. So, let's go back. Nope, we were here. We were in February, sorry. Alright, so this is how February went. I got the orange sickle cotton all knitted up. I coned up 4 more colors of cotton, again, cotton yarn. Again, knitting podcast, much more in depth about that. Assembled the first 3 color stripes of my brother's blanket. I got 2 of them done, which the first one honestly was a learning experience that made the second one go a lot quicker. And then because I did those first 2 back to back, I kind of burnt out and haven't touched it for a week. So yeah, needed a break. Set up my canning closet, did that. Even though that was technically next quarter, I was getting impatient. And clean out we have an area in our kitchen that I call the baking area because that's where my stand mixer is. And I just refer to it as the baking area. And the cabinets in there really needed to be cleaned out. Monthly DIY break and bake, which uses the baking area. That happened. Again, I know. I just need to do it. Action cures fear, right? And then you guys know that I'm trying to read more. So I just write down, kind of like a daily checklist so I can see at a glance how many times did I actually read. So this is pretty good. In January, January had 31 days and I read 15 times. So roughly about half the month, which I consider a positive. There are 28 days in February this year and I read for 15 of them. Again, I shot for half and I made it. So granted, the book I'm reading right now, I won't say that's a heavy book, but there's just a lot of like little chapters, and a book review video is coming once I finish it. Yeah, I think, and after I finish reading my current book, I'm going to go to some quick fiction to reset my brain. Nonfiction takes a very long time to read. So what does that mean for March? For March, again, monthly DIY break and bake. This is so handy for when we have people coming over, or we go over to my parents' house and my mom says, hey, bring dessert. Well, I don't have to think about it. I can just throw some cookie dough balls on a cookie sheet from the freezer and bake them. I am always about 20 minutes away from freshly baked cookies, which is a double-edged sword, because the cookies only take 11 minutes to bake and the rest of that time is waiting for the oven to preheat. So yeah, I don't need to know that I can eat freshly baked cookies every day if I wanted to. That has been an exercise in restraint, let me tell you. Okay, digress. Again, the speaking volume submission packet, I just need to get it done. I need to get off my butt and get it done. I have 2 cotton colors listed this month, mainly because I started the Lime Burst in February. Again, knitting podcast goes more in depth. And then I'm hoping to get back on track and also get all this purple perk color knitted this month as well. That way in April, I can start the next color on the list and I will be back on track for 1 cotton color a month. My fun pointer. This is awesome. This was a prototype double pen that I made. That, if you guys have questions on this, let me know. Anyways, orange stripe. The stripe itself is made up of 3 strips. So I need to, again, knitting podcast goes in more in depth. So orange stripe, first strip, second strip, third strip, then crochet them all together. Same with the blue, the white, and the red. Then I am crocheting the orange stripe to the blue stripe to the white stripe to the red stripe. Blah. I am so ready to be done with this blanket. Natchy binders, write-up, picks, and lists. I actually did the write-ups and the picks last night. I just haven't listed them on Etsy. Awesome. Clothing to consignment shops. That's happening this month. Starting to do consignment shops has been kind of nice, actually, if I can find decent clothing and resell it and make a little bit of a profit, And I don't have to do the hard work of listing it on eBay. I've tried selling clothes on eBay. It sucks. They don't sell. And then, of course, my reading daily list. I tried to split it in half and do it this way. As you can tell, I screwed up. So redoing it. I'm not a perfectionist. Well, I don't think I'm a perfectionist. In some cases I am. But in terms of, I know this would drive some people up the wall. Guys, it's a planner. Okay? I don't even care about that. That just reminds me, oh, yeah, I should have, thought ahead a little more when I was, oops, sorry, I just shook the camera. When I was doing this. Oh, well, screwed up, life happens. And the other thing I want to show you is the back of the monthly. I'm not going to show you my month on 2 pages because I have some personal stuff written in there already. But on the back of the Franklin Covey months, they have a personal list and a business list. Well, I use the business list as my editorial calendar for the blog. Okay, so I can start checking things off and I know what's coming up. My personal one in months past has been a combination writing, I'm sorry, did it again. Writing and knitting list. And I had to redo my editorial calendar because I screwed it up. But right now, I'm really getting back to focusing on my writing. It's something that I've come to realize over the last couple days that, if I really want to be a published writer, the blog and YouTube are fun. They're good creative outlets, but I need to put more time into actually writing. I'm not saying that means the blog and the YouTube channels are going away, but I need to make this more of a focus than this. So we'll see. If anybody, if you guys are interested in hearing about what I'm working on writing wise, let me know. I'm willing to do a face-to-face talky video about it, and you can even submit questions for it. That'd be awesome. But yeah. So that's what I'm working on this month. And since I'm in academia, we have spring break later this month, and I plan on knocking out a lot of stuff come spring break. I do not take for granted my paid weeks off during the year, like my couple weeks in December around Christmas and then spring break. I do not take those weeks for granted. I look forward to them not only as a break from work, but as they are a longer than 2-day stretch where I can work on side hustles and other things instead of, okay, well, I can't really start this because it takes longer than 2 days to do it, or get in the middle of something. It's like, oh, I have to stop working on this and I can't work on it again for a week. So I do not take my week-long breaks for granted. I use those as really intense side hustle time. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And everybody have a nice day. Bye.